in the house, grooving down the road here, going to get some rents and look at a couple properties, a couple leads I got going on. So I got this lady. I've been marketing her for months. My team has. Finally, she called. They've been hounding her for a while, but excuse me. Finally, she called me a couple weeks, 3 or 4 weeks ago. You know, she's worried about the COVID thing and whatever. Her dad left her this property, and 30 years ago or something, she's been renting it ever since then, for like $500 a month. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. It's a cute little house. It's in great shape. They've maintained it well. It doesn't need anything. And I can throw a tenant in there mañana. But anyway, so I went and saw the property, wore the mask, social distancing, blah, blah, blah. That was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I called her back, left a message, didn't hear nothing. A couple weeks went by, and then she called me. I don't be hounding these people, y'all. I don't be bothering these people. There's more than enough to go around. If you got that prosperity mindset, that is. If you got that scarcity mindset, you hunting people down, driving them crazy and shit. Pissing them off, really, probably ruining deals. I'm probably 100% sure of that. I done it too, so that's why I know. I'm not saying anything I ain't done. But I don't do that no more. I let these people sweat me because they know I want to buy and I know they want to sell. Period. If they really want to sell and I built rapport with them the right way and they understand that I'm the real deal and whatnot, they're going to call me back. They got all these jokers blowing them up and shit. Once I contact them, I don't blow them up no more. I turn it off. The marketing team goes on mute. They've got my information. They got my phone number. They got all my business information, blah, blah, blah. So they know. So, you know, sometimes people have a change of heart. That's not very often. Sometimes their heart changes back a couple months later, which is cool. But anyway, she called me the other day, about a week and a half ago. I called her back. I told her I had some numbers for her or whatever. And I called her back, left a message, didn't hear nothing. A week later, she calls me again. I didn't call her back for a week and a half. And left me a message, I didn't call her back. Then she texted me this morning, said this is my cell phone. I guess she was calling me from her landline. I text a lot of these people once I make the initial contact. But anyway, so she texted me this morning, asked me if I still want to make an offer. I'm like, okay, it's been about a month the property's been empty, maybe 2 months. So now she's starting to go, you know, where my income at? And I did that kind of on purpose, you know? Like, I know she has had that property paying her every month for decades. So she's going to miss that income if I hold out long enough. Anyway, so she texted me. I called her back, told her, you know, hey, this is my seller finance pitch. I'm going to give it to some of y'all. This is a rudimentary version of it, but it works almost every time. If y'all understand how seller financing works and you understand how to talk to people and build rapport, you can't really go wrong, man. I mean, seriously. You just make it make sense to them, but you got to know what it means. You got to understand it. If you don't understand what's going on with it, it's going to be hard for you to convince somebody else of it, especially if you're the one that's supposed to be buying their house that way. So learn that shit, man, because you can't convince somebody of something if you don't really know it thoroughly yourself. And you don't have to know every detail, but know enough to understand what you're saying, right? So I was like, you know, there's 2 ways we can do this. I said, I know you've been enjoying the income off that property for however long, ever. I know you enjoy the income. And I also know, because I feel your pain, that you don't enjoy the tenant part of it. Rightfully so. And so I connect with her right there. I can relate to her. I can relate to something negative in her life. So boom, there's rapport right there. Anyway, I feel your pain, blah, blah, blah. So I told her, I said, you know, we can give you two kinds of offers. We can give you a cash offer. Right now, the banks aren't doing investment lending because of this COVID stuff. They've frozen all that. They've frozen all the lines of credit, which is usually what we use to purchase and flip and rehab and all this stuff. We use those types of tools. Right now, that stuff's all on pause. So we've had to get a little bit creative lately, right? She's like, okay. And I'm like, so there's two ways we can do this. We can give you a cash offer, which is always our lowest offer. That's really designed for flips. It's designed for properties that need extensive rehab, which your house is in good shape. It doesn't really need that much. It needs a new kitchen and a roof, which it don't. It's fine. It's totally fine. But I remember she was saying, well, the kitchen cabinets are kind of old. They're in good shape, dude. Whatever. It's fucking rental, man. Who cares? Somebody's gonna love that shit. But anyway, they were insecure about the kitchen cabinets. I was like, shit, I done been living way worse places than this. But and they were insecure about the roof. And the roof's fine, dude. It's like 10 years old. Some people have different, they've kept that property in great shape. So any little flaw, they're insecure about it. I'm like, cool. And I noticed that when I was talking to them, when I was looking at the property. They're like, well, the furnace, it's 10 years old. It might need serviced or something. It's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But anyway, so I told her there's two offers we can do. We can do a cash offer, which is always our lowest. It's designed for more so for properties that need extensive rehab. And then when we do those cash offers, the reason why they're so low is because we are taking a big risk and we got to get that money back as soon as possible. Get in there and tear it apart, flip it, put more money into it, wait on the market, wait for the realtors to get it sold, and then put some more money into the realtor's pocket. So, it gets complicated and scary when we start doing cash offers, especially at a time like right now. However, I know you've been enjoying that monthly income forever and a day. So the best way to do this, and we can pay you more for the property if you'd be interested in doing an installment agreement. Now, the way that works is there's a closing. You've sold the property. We're just making installment payments on it. So every month, all you got to do is go to the mailbox and get your check, just like you've been doing, without the hassle of the property at all. We're responsible for the taxes. We're responsible for the maintenance, the insurance, the repairs. We're responsible for the whole thing because we're buying it just on an installment contract, on an installment agreement. So if that's something you'd be interested in, we could definitely pay you more for the property if you want to go that route. Or I can get you a cash offer together, which, like I said, is always the lowest offer. That's just the calculations that we have to use. Notice I said we, not me. I'm not paying you shit. It's the company. Our company will cut you a check every month on the same day, whatever we agree on. Normally, we like to do 3 to 5 years, depends on the price. If it's over a certain price, we'd stretch it out to 5 years. But our goal, here's the kicker. This is me talking to the seller. But our goal really is to get it refinanced as soon as we can, stretch it out over 20, 30 years, lower our payment down. That way we can profit a little bit more every month. That's our goal. But right now, we're projecting about 3 years before the banks are doing refinances on investment properties at a reasonable rate, even though it's never really reasonable. But 17, 15%, back down to 5, 6%. So it's probably going to be about 3 years maybe before we can do that. So we like to do a 5-year cushion just in case. And then what happens when we refinance it, you get paid off, you get a nice little balloon chunk at the end. So whenever we refinance it, whether it's 3 years, 2 years, 5 years, during that term, whatever we haven't paid in the installments, you get a nice little balloon check, big fat check at the end, which is a nice little, surprise. One of them monthly payment checks, you go out to the mailbox and it's 30 grand or whatever. So that's nice. But anyway, that's my proposal. And she's like, yeah, well, all that sounds really good. I'm like, okay. You got any questions? She's like, no, not really. Can you call me a little bit later on this evening with some numbers? And I said, sure. I'm driving right now, so I don't have those with me. But I'll get back home later on this evening after I look at these other 7 properties. Make sure that you let them know, even if you're not looking at 7 properties, you tell them you're looking at 7 properties today. That gives them a scarcity mindset, right? People act when they're in scarcity mode, okay? So they react. So if they think, oh shit, he's going to buy 7 other houses today, number 1, he's the real deal. Number 2, he ain't playing. Number 3, I hope it's one of mine. I hope he's buying mine. If he buys them 7, he might not be able to buy mine. So give me some numbers, please. Right? So the last thing you want to look is desperate or overly thirsty. That's why I don't be blowing people up. I ain't thirsty for shit. Abundance out here everywhere. In every aspect of life, there's abundance. I mean, look at all these trees, bro. billions of them. Imagine how many ants is on that shit. There's abundance in this world. If you don't have any abundance in your mindset, you're losing. Like, you need to get it together, because this world is full of abundance. The money's out here. It's everywhere. The properties are out here. The sellers willing to do seller finance, I've proven, are definitely out here, right? I got all kinds of shit going on. But that's my seller finance pitch, one of them. And if you don't understand it, you need to get educated on that. Need some help with that, hit your boy, the Savage Investor, on Facebook or Instagram. Send me a message, man. I got you. But anywho, that's the Savage Investors pitch, and I'm headed to go get the bag and get some more bags, and I'm probably gonna get that property as well. I'll send an update, but I'm pretty sure it's almost a done deal. All right, y'all, have a good day. Abundance, baby. Go get some.